Yeah, there we go. What are you connected to for internet? It's really slow. Oh, mobile. Oh, my phone. Okay. Slow. I just gotta stay charged up. I gotta plug in. I'm all down to 34%. No, mine's probably better than yours. It was for the kids. All right, well, let's talk.
Ryan Farish, very excited to share with you my new album, Wild as the Wind, out now and available for you to experience right here on Pandora. Just press check it out to experience Wild as the Wind. Thanks so much for listening on Pandora.
Why is this so hard to do? I can't find the where you update this gadget. Board meetings. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Should be some place for me to paste this. It was real simple, and there was some place to just paste the code. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I need to update the gadget. How do I update the gadget?
If you flick the doohickey, it'll work right.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. So move or modify this gadget, edit the page template. So I gotta edit the page template, not the page. So where do I go to the page template?
But why do they have to do that? YouTube Studio, click create and let go live.
I've done that. I'm, where do I put the embed? So I've got the embed. Need to know how to edit bald apricot.
Just click the top edit button.
I did, and
Okay.
I can't find the place where I would paste the
File.
embed file. I've done that.
You click on
where do I
the, you
put
click on the
embed?
video.
Click on the video.
You should see an edit.
I've got the embed. It says content gadget.
Then
and there's
it
no
should say edit HTML
edit
left.
bald apricot.
Click
HTML
the
on
top
the
edit
left.
button.
I did,
Okay.
and I can't find the place where I would paste the embed file. I've done that.
You click on the video.
Click on the video. Oh, there's HTML. Okay. Where do I paste the embed stuff?
You should see edit HTML on the side.
Mm-hmm.
You just click on that and then it should pop up with an HTML window and you just replace that HTML
Okay.
and hit save.
There it is. Okay. I'm handing it over to Gail. Recording. Start recording.
Wait a minute, I'm gonna change.
How's my favorite treasure?
So tired.
That's 10 o'clock for you.
Yep.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello,
Hey,
AJ.
Good
AJ.
evening.
Hey AJ, how you doing?
Good, thank you.
You fully recovered?
Yes, thank
Hi,
you.
AJ.
Hello.
All right, it is currently 7 o'clock. We are still waiting for Simon Stewart and Brandon Weston. Danny contacted me earlier today and she's excused.
Simon's
Simon
on the
just
call.
Simon has joined. Perfect. So it's just Stewart and Brandon Weston that we're waiting on. We'll give them just a couple of minutes here to maybe get on and then we'll get started. Somebody want to send the two of them a quick message and see if they're going to join us?
I'll send him a message.
Thanks, Gail.
Mhm.
Huh.
There's Stuart. We're just waiting on Brandon then.
He's been messaged.
All right, we'll give him just a minute or two to see if he joins and then we'll get started.
All right, just testing my audio, making sure everything's going. Can you guys hear me?
We'll give Brandon one more minute and then we'll get started.
Can you guys hear me? I want to make sure there's nothing going.
We can see you, Stuart.
he just left.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully Brandon gets the message and joins us here soon. I'd like to call to order the regularly scheduled July meeting of Triangle Recreation Camp Board of Directors. I'm chairing the meeting, Charlie Hill, President. So all are in attendance with the exception of Danny Rohal, who is excused, and Brandon Weston. So we do have quorum.
Test one, test two.
We can hear you, Stuart.
Thank you.
Has everybody had the opportunity to look over the June board meeting minutes?
I think I sent him out a long time ago, but
Yeah, right after the meeting, I believe.
yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little out of order. Let's first, I would accept a motion to approve the agenda as written.
If I can, point of order, I've been listed in the agenda,
item D, sorry, item E. It's got Millie's name in my, instead of mine.
Oops, sorry.
Minor thing.
Yep. Can you tell that I copied and pasted an old agenda?
Well,
It happens.
so moved. No,
Okay,
yes.
with that correction, thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion.
Aye. Okay.
All right, now on to the minutes from the June 16th, 2026 board meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Seconded by Gary Greenwald. And all in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, motion carries. Thank you. All right, on to reports from the officers. I will start out from the president's office. So general announcements. So I had a call with our attorney, Frank, last Wednesday. We discussed the bond issue from the former fence contractor. It turns out that there are over $200,000 in claims against the $30,000 bond. So Frank is advising that if we were to win anything, it would be far less than what the legal fees would be to pursue this. So Frank is recommending that we do not pursue the contractor's bond. Any discussion about that? Any comments? Questions? All right, moving on. So I also put before Frank our two proposed bylaws changes. The one around meeting notification, changing that to an annual notification with the 30-10 rule applying if there's any changes to that schedule. And then also the verbiage for our bylaws change around being able to move committees freely between officers as the board sees necessary. Both of those issues, Frank wanted to run by one of his partners who specializes in nonprofit law, and he's gonna run it by her, and he will have information for me about the results of that prior to our August board meeting. We will need to, though, if we are intending to put these bylaws changes in front of the membership at the annual general meeting, we need to ensure that we get that notification out to the membership a minimum of 30 days prior to the annual general meeting. The other thing we put in front of Frank was the new rules committee process with the investigation and the adjudication branches separated out. He was also going to have his partner look that over, and once again, he will report out to me prior to the August board meeting. So outstanding issues. We had some outstanding issues from our insurance company walkthrough that happened early in the season. I'm happy to report that we were able to address the issues that they brought forward. They've all been corrected, pictures have been sent, and the insurance company is happy. Strategic Planning Committee. So we're going to move that meeting to November instead of January. That's the only thing to report there. External Affairs Committee. The next Granite Falls Chamber of Commerce meeting will be July 30th, and Matthew Schaefer will be attending representing the board. All right, moving on to Nominations Committee. So I have appointed Ross Tremblay as chair of the Nominations Committee. And then Garrett Campbell and AJ Darter are also serving on that committee. So the Nominations Committee has been appointed. Also, under nominations, we held a special election with the membership, and the membership voted to elect Matthew Schaefer to the board of directors. At this time, I would entertain a motion to seat Matthew Schaefer on the board.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Moved by Craig, second.
Second.
Seconded by Millie. All those in favor, please raise your right hand.
Oh,
And it's unanimous. Welcome to the board, Matthew. All right, that's all I have from the president's office. So we'll move into the rest of the officer reports. Vice President of Operations.
Thank you,
Millie?
by the way.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to try and make this as fast as possible. There's a lot, but if you have any questions, please let me know, and we'll move on right on to this. So there's been requests to have the manager, MOD manager on duty or member on duty brought back, but what we're going to do is we're creating TRC operations manager role, the TOM, and their role will be, making sure that we're having all of our infrastructure stuff handled every day, the water being filled, the generator being brought on, handling generator issues as they occur. And then if there's check-ins, the host head isn't staffed helping with stuff like that, or making sure we have people to help them. And so currently, Ted, Steve L, and Mike Thompson have all agreed to be Toms. It'd be good to add a few more so that we have enough coverage so that somebody isn't having to do it all the time. Steve LaRoe has already been basically acting in that function during the weekdays and on weekends as well. I mean, he does a lot on the event weekends. So I am entertaining a motion that Steve LaRoe will be given an exception to the RV camper 14-day rule and can remain on site in his RV space for the duration of the 2026 season. Can I have a second to that, please?
Seconded.
Seconded by Craig. All those in favor, please raise, or discussion?
The name is Lorray.
Any other discussion?
You
All
want
right,
for the motion?
please raise your right hand. And the motion carries.
So one of the things we've had issues with is power on event weekends, and sometimes not on event weekends, but we are going to be adding signs to all of the RV spider boxes, letting them know that there's only 10 or 20 amps depending on the spider box, and that they should not be using any high wattage devices. We're also going to make it a handout that we can give to RVers when they check in, especially if they're new RVers. The water the potable water passed its July inspection. Thank you to Mr. Thompson and Matt for helping to get that done. Mr. Deering gave us a report from the lower campground. The trails are all clear and accessible. Lower site table upgrades are planned. So Steve has taken the old wooden tables and turning them into like cooking areas. Take the seats, raised them up, and now he's made like an extra cooking area, which is really people are really appreciating that. And then he's also working on additional trail signs for the ones that are not available right now, and that will be in August and September. He has put out some beautiful little flower and potted plants around the lower campground as well as the upper campground. If people see them and they look like they need water, can you please add some water to them? During the last event weekend, we did have people going into the Kappa, which was previously referred to as NGPA. So our fabulous VP of development is having some metal signs made that we are going to pound into the ground so they can't be easily removed. And we're going to reinforce with members that those areas are not to be disturbed. The from our seasonal site committee, Mr. Schaefer, and newest board member, he has reported that an Ace Lawson, aka Sheriff, has joined Heavy Petting Zoo. Mr. Joe Mirabella and Harvey have accepted the open site at Cloud 9. So now we have occupants for Cloud 9. And Randy Teddy is going to be sending out welcome cards to new conditional members. So that's kind of neat. Our host Tut chairs, Jeff gave us a report. The host Tut and the TRC store is now going to be open. In the past, we had people calling us on the radio. We'll still have them call us on the radio, but what we're just going to tell them is that we're going to come down at 12 o'clock and 5:30. So we're going to do check-ins and store sales twice a day. So it's not such a repeated motion going down there to get that done. And that will not obviously be during event weekends, but on weekends when we have low number of campers, we're going to do that. So if you can help spread the word, that would be helpful. They should still call and say, hey, it's 5 o'clock and I'm here, just so that we know that people are waiting for service. Host tech continues to be a challenge for staffing. The event weekends, we're getting pretty good staffing. It's the non-event weekends. In the last 2 weekends, we've had 80 campers, and this weekend we have 100. And Jeff Young, or Jeff Daddy, host at Daddy Jeff, pretty much did it all by himself last weekend. Evan did help some, and a couple other people. I think Dana also helped, but we need more people to help with the host head. Like, we really need to start encouraging people to, just step up. It's fun. You actually get to meet new people. We're looking at, we've done some, We've updated the processes quite a bit. Thank you to Mr. Josh Nye. Our reservation spreadsheet that we used to use to tell us how many people are coming is now in real time. It updates every 5 minutes. And like even last weekend, initially on Friday, we had 41 check-ins, and then that went up to like 68. But you can actually see it in real time. And you can also track who's checked in and who's not checked in. If somebody doesn't check in that day, a notification is now being sent to them, reminding them that if they didn't check in the night before, maybe they arrived late, that they still need to check in, or if their plans have changed, to please let us know. And then in addition to that, we're going to set up an email that goes out 48 hours in advance, and it's a know before you go, such as, please arrive before 8 o'clock. We don't have electricity and lights in the lower campground. If you get here when it's dark, it's going to make it super hard for you. And that, I think that's going to be very, very helpful. It's some of the feedback we got from our retrospective after the 4th of July weekend. And then we're also going to work on some after hours signs that tell people exactly what they need to do after hours to check in. And then we'll follow up with the people the next day. Let's see, lower campground. Oh, so again, our Mr. Greenwald, VPD, we tend to seem to be working a lot hand in hand recently. He is drafted up plans for a storage / fire shack down in the lower campground, which meets the cup conditions. It's actually specifically called out. So, but it's going to be some more money than we have currently in our lower campground funds. Gary will be presenting a motion during his report to update that money. He's also going to be, we're also going to have a work party to fix the utility wagons, those big wagons with the 2 big wheels. Overall, the frame is pretty good, but the wood has deteriorated. So we're going to replace it with wood that's treated, and then we're going to actually add some reinforcement to the sides too, so they'll last longer. We do have bear spray. It's been it's currently in my canopy. So if we do have any other sightings or any bears poop, feel free to go into the canopy. I can tell you where it is. We are going to put TRC tags on them, so it's more clear that they belong to TRC and that people shouldn't just pack them as they're leaving their sites. I think sometimes people accidentally pack them when they're clearing the sites. Site 11, we're determining what to do with the fire pit so that we can start using that again, and it's not a potential hazard. We don't want people building fires in 11 because the fire pit is way too close to the edge. And in the wood cage, we're going to have a work party to figure out what to do about the wood cage. Since we took the top off of the wood cage, that was the support structure that was holding the sides in. And now the wood is pushing them out. And so if we don't fix it, it's going to collapse. And both of the Jeffs, I mean, there are some people who are really standing out this year. Both of the Jeffs, Steve Loray and Ted, are some people. I mean, there's plenty more, but those are the ones who are really coming to mind to me right now. Have just been doing so much work. And one of the things I really want to see us do as an organization is find ways that we can thank our volunteers for what they're doing. And one of the things I would like to do is, in the past, we've had a lower campground chair. Currently, our campground chair is Mr. Deering, and he has his own site. So I would like to entertain a motion that there will be 2 tent sites in the lower campground available for Jeff Young and Jeff Stiles for the duration of the 2026 season. The tent sites will not be in 1, 2, or 10, as those are sites we use for group reservations.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Gary. Discussion?
I have just a slight concern. We have a pending rules adjudication with a member that has exceeded the limits in the lower campground. And I'm just a little concerned if we were to grant that to Jeff and Jeff, that could cause further problem for the adjudication of the rules complaint.
Well, they're 2 separate things, right? That person did not have approval before they did it, and they were warned that they're not supposed to do it. This is a completely different scenario.
Correct.
So Millie, so how does that relate to, because we've always talked about sort of rewarding people for volunteering. And we said, well, we can't, give away free things, passes, etc.
No, this is
Would that
different.
Would it
This
be,
is
that's
complete.
what I'm asking. Is it different?
Yeah, no, so this is different than the 5-hour volunteer rule. The 5-hour
Okay.
volunteer rule would have been mandatory, and like it falls more kind of like a quid pro quo in that situation. This is not. This is something that we're recognizing what people are doing. It's not, they don't have to continue volunteering to get it, but it's something that we're giving them because they've been such outstanding volunteers. It's a thank you for what they've been doing.
I'm not arguing against it. I'm
Oh,
just,
I know. I
just so
appreciate
if
that.
someone
I
comes up
appreciate
and they say something about it, that we have a response.
Right. And actually,
Yeah.
I will send out what our response should be because I've already researched all that.
Michael, with regards to that, I just have a quick question. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut off whoever I did just cut off. Now, in case scenario for Gia, marketing went ahead and awarded her a free party pass for 1 weekend, which I think was a great idea. And I think that's a great incentive for volunteering. Is that something that each department could possibly build into their budget that works with marketing, that they say they have 3 spots available for people that exceed and go above expectations with regards to volunteering, that they could utilize and say, hey, I'm going to use one of our development tickets and say, we want this person to have a free party pass?
I love that idea. It's not part of this motion, but it is definitely a motion that we could make and discuss. I love it. Anything that we can do, we want to use carrots, right? That's a carrot. This tent space is a carrot. It's a carrot for Steve to also get his 14-day exception. We need to do things that benefit our volunteers in such a way. You know, the other thing that I've discussed with some, well, never mind, I'm not gonna go down that road.
Okay, any other discussion regarding this motion specifically?
Yes, I think you need to be careful. You're starting to set a precedent for being semi-permanent kind of feeling spot down in the lower campground. Huge issue with that in the past. And why we don't have semi-permanent spots down there. This is one step away from moving down that direction. And some could argue that this would be exactly the same thing if you're letting them stay for the whole season, especially if they stay down there and set up their campground and butt in and build in and make themselves there for the season. I recommend caution with this. That's just my opinion.
Well, we have actually done this in the past. We were doing it with Drew previously, and
Doesn't make it right.
He did state, well, and I'm just going to remind people that our 4 mission statements, 3 of them are based around contributing to TRC and volunteering. 3 of our 4 mission statements. And the only way we can, what we've been doing in the past hasn't been working. And I think we need to change our attitude. This isn't quid pro quo. It's giving somebody a benefit for the work that they're doing. They're doing on an event weekend, both of those Jeffs are probably spending 40 hours at the host hut.
I'm not, to continue on this, I'm not against the fact that the volunteers for the work that they're doing, right? If you're going to give them a site like that, then you should probably find something in the upper campground, not the lower. For that, because that's what the upper campground was designated for originally. The lower campground, we got evacuated out of there due to the county because it was people were down there all season and doing things that they
It's
should.
actually, just to clarify, it is not a violation of the conditional use permit. But the 14-day is left over from when we were at index.
But that wasn't that. But thank you.
You're breaking up, Stuart. I don't know if it's for other people, but
Yeah. Any
Yeah, he's
further
breaking up.
discussion? All right. All
Just a
those in
thought,
favor- What? Pardon,
just
Chair?
a thought. They could go
Yeah.
in the overflow and it's not an issue, but whatever.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. All those in favor, raise your right hand. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Opposed? Abstain? So 9, 4, and with 2 abstentions, the motion carries. Simon and Stuart were the abstentions.
so thank you, everyone. And I do appreciate, the concerns, because I mean, it is something we need to talk about, especially when we're changing things. So parking. First of all, I see Lawrence on the call. Lawrence, we missed you. I hope that you're feeling better, and we love you and we miss you. So over the weekend, we had 2 people that really, over the 4th of July weekend, we had 2 people that really stood up. And so I asked if they would be willing to join Lawrence on the parking committee as co-chairs. So we'll have 3 co-chairs now, Lawrence, Blair, and Eric Jung. And we also changed the parking process. I think most people know what we did. It's in my report. I'm not going to go into all those little steps. If anybody has questions about, or people think I should, but one thing that we are going to do that I haven't talked about is we're going to change the parking permit update. One of the things that we've changed on overnight reservations is we have asked them when they're going to arrive, and they're like in 2-hour increments. I'm going to put that on the parking permit so people can just circle when they think they're going to depart, and then that will help us actually stack people in better, especially when we're at the quarry or on one of the roads. But we're going to be updating the parking permit. Network upgrade. So as everybody knows, we completed the network upgrade, and so far I've only had a couple complaints. There's one currently might be related to what the access point at the network shed because I haven't heard anybody else complaining except for people in that area. But overall, they just say every once in a while they have a slow download. But as of last weekend, we added 2 new access points to the lower campground. So now, except for I haven't tested at Fire Pit 1, but at all the fire pits, there's now internet access. And I really want to give a shout out to Damon Saylor from Doghouse and John, who is one of our neighbors in Silverton, who have just gone above and beyond in getting the change to this going. With our radios, our walkie-talkies, where Mike Thompson already investigated this with the FCC. He's he's filing a permit so that we can have our own range wave. I don't think I'm saying that wrong, but so frequency that we'll have our own frequency and we'll be able to have repeaters. And so hopefully that won't be too long. It would be nice if it was before August, but certainly nice if it was before our Labor Day weekend. July 4th, during the July 4th, security, safety, medical, July 4th, we had a couple incidents where campers entered seasonal sites without permission. We've decided that we're going to draft up signs that each site can have it clearly near their entrance that specifically says that a site member must be on site before entering, as well as, like, please ask permission to come in, so on and so forth. We only had one minor medical issue during that weekend. A person had fallen and was disoriented. They were deaf. And so Nathan was very, very helpful, and he brought the person back to my canopy, and we put on heaters and put him in the love seat and put blankets on him, and he was gone in the morning, and I saw him the next day, so he's all was fine with there. And there were no major rule violations according to our VPMR during that weekend. So we are doing pretty good as far as that goes. And then also in my report, I have oh no, that's I'll talk about that in a little bit. Fire safety, we had no fireworks locally. No fireworks at the campground that I'm aware of. So that's good. There were fireworks that were down the street, but that's up to them. And Brandon, he reports that the fire packs for extinguishing fires are now located at the host hut deck in Site 500. They're manually pumped ones, so they don't require motors or batteries or anything. They're filled, but we want to make sure that we're checking them about monthly to make sure that they have water in them. And Brandon, thank you for the propane and diesel fuel. I know that you've been watching that very closely this year, and we've been getting them filled before we've had any issues with that. I really appreciate that. And let's see. And then we also had a retrospective after the 4th of July meeting. I have notes about that in my minutes, but my report, but I don't want to go over all those. Any questions?
All right, thank you very much, Millie. All right, let's move on to our Vice President of Development, Gary Greenwald.
Hello, everybody. Mine's not quite as long as Millie's, but he covered a lot of things. We do a lot of crossover. As he mentioned, on the lower, we did have a couple of violations. About 5/10 were in NGPA CAPA areas. And also, as he mentioned, we're going to get some permanent metal signs and metal stakes to put those in a more secure manner. So hopefully we prevent that from happening in the future. Site 500. We are currently in the process of doing upgrades to Site 500 with the sink, installing a 3-compartment sanitation sink and a hand washing sink, and redoing the electrical in that area. And we're also looking for a full-size refrigerator, hopefully propane and electric, to put in 500. So Steve has an area to store his cold goods, so he doesn't have to be running around getting a bunch of ice. We should have all that done by the August party, assuming I don't injure myself again. Power grid. We are in the process of getting contractors. We've had 3 contractors out to review our power grid, and they are currently working on um, uh, a review to give to us on what we need to do to upgrade the power grid to make it more stable. Some of the common comments by the 3 contractors is replacing that distribution box that's in the connex where the generator is, and making it a more stable distribution thing that's up on the wall, using waterproof boxes, and with the ability to switch on and off the different runs. We're looking at about 5 runs, which is what we currently have. We're working on redistributing the power and putting all the RVs on a separate run, rerouting the gazebo onto a different run. We're also taking a look at replacing the spider boxes we currently have, which really aren't weatherproof and meant to be out exposed to weather. So we're looking at replacing those with some kind of a waterproof power post or something to that nature. A full report on this will be available, and I'll present it in the August meeting. Number 40, development. We had a bunch of us that went and did a walkthrough around the cabin. We selected areas that we felt could be leveled and eventually turned into tent camping. We have staked out those areas. We are having a logging company that will come in and do selective logging around a 6-acre area around the cabin. The documents have been signed and they have been sent to the logging company. They will review them, and then they'll send them to the Department of Natural Resources. That takes about 30 days, 18 to 30 days. And then he can proceed with doing the selective logging. What we're going to do also is I have a contractor who will be coming up and doing some minor leveling of ground in the quarry and along some areas around the road, like the meadow area that's across from the cabin, to create some additional parking. We're going to try to get 20 or 30 more spaces. We're going to be doing that hopefully towards the end of this week or the first part of next week, so that we have it available to us for the August party. That still remains to be seen, but we're going to try to make that happen in case we have a large group of people that come in for the August party, which is quite possible. The rezoning for the upper 40 from forestry to forestry recreation, so it's the same as the lower. That is a process that probably takes about 3 years. We'll probably hire John at Wetland Services to assist us in doing that. He actually was the individual who helped us do the original rezoning, so he's very familiar with our campsite. He's got good contacts at Snohomish County and should be able to help us with that. Moving on. Page 2, sound like Paul Harvey here. Potable water. I've had 2 contracts come out and look at the potable water system and give us some estimates on automating that system. There are currently float valves in the tanks, and we have a generator that has an auto start on it. So it's just a matter of getting some electronics and connecting those together so that when the tanks are at a certain level, the generator will automatically turn on and fill up the tanks. That is going to cost about $2,500. So I would like to, at this time, put forth a motion to increase the budget for potable water to $3,000, which will cover the cost of that and any other items that we may need. So the motion is to increase the budget for the potable area for to $3,000.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Seconded by Thompson. Discussion? All right, all in favor, please raise your right hand.
Abstain.
Okay, motion carries.
Great. Thank you very much. Let's see here, potable water motion. Okay. We are doing some repairs to the potable water pipe that goes down the Trail 6, and we have some issues there that we're working on. Fire suppression. We are in the process of continuing the fire suppression line to 500 and then down to the lower RV so that there's a fire suppression spigot in the lower RV area, and also so that Site 500 has actual potable water in their area. Hope to have that done in the next 3 weeks or so. Also, on the fire suppression tanks, I am working on automated those tanks. So the one that's up by Woodpeckers, and then there's another one that's above Cloud 9 or whatever. I'm not sure what that area is called, but I've been able to track down some sensors that'll sense the tank level, and it's Wi-Fi, so it'll notify us. And then I've also got some auto valves that we can turn off and set to turn off at a certain time, which is also Wi-Fi. So I'm in the process of finalizing that, which should make it a lot easier for us to monitor the fire suppression tanks and to be able to fill those automatically without having to manually go up and look at them all the time. I'll probably have a report. I don't have costs on that quite yet, so I'll have a report on that for the August meeting. As you know, in the lower campground, as Millie mentioned, we're constructing a storage shed, fire hut. This will also hold the solar panels on the roof. I would like to put forth a motion to increase the budget for the lower campground to $3,500 to cover the cost of building the fire hut. So I will put that forward to the meeting here. $3,500.
Okay, do we have a second? Okay. Open for discussion.
Other question?
All those in favor? Anybody opposed? Abstaining? All right, motion carries with one abstention.
The bridge. The bridge. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, we have terminated our relationship with Anchor Key, or Anchor QUE, or whatever. They were the company that was working on the permits. Um, we have notified them that we will no longer be using those. We have asked John at Wetland Services to take over the permitting process, and he has agreed to that. Again, John is the one that worked on all of the stuff in the past. He's very familiar with the campground. Like I said, he's got good contacts at Snohomish County. He's working on a price for us. I should have that information by the August meeting. Our plan, as it stands now, is to use eco blocks and placed on both sides of the wash, in accordance to what the county has told us. And then we're going to use exterior glulam beams that'll be placed across the wash and set on those eco blocks. And then we will construct the bridge top and the in the railings. The bridge will be wide enough to carry the Jenny across with certain restrictions and conditions, and should be substantially less than what we've been talking. I don't have final figures as of now. I hope to have them by the August meeting. And then I am still working on the fundraiser for the party side. That's kind of gone to the bottom of the barrel, but I will be doing that. Oh, not a side note, but back to the lower campground, site 11. I'm recommending that we just simply remove the fire pit, Millie. Just get that out of the way, remove the rocks so that no fire pit in site 11, and that we put a little bit more substantial fencing along the edge. Maybe use the fencing that was originally used to block off site 11, move that to the edge, and open up site 11 permanently. I think we can do about 4 or 5 tent sites in there. So that is the plan for that. And that's the end of my report. Any questions?
Question, Gary, does that mean that all the work APT has done is not being used?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Does that mean that all the work that Anchor King has done is not being used?
Sorry, I'm sorry, you're breaking up. So can
So
you
I
mention that
caught
again?
that, Gary. He's asking if
Oh.
all the work that Anchor Q did is being used or not.
Oh, that is a very good question, Stuart. And I apologize I didn't mention that. Anchor Q has given us all the documents and everything that they've done up to this point. They've sent it to me, and I've passed that along to John. So they've been very, straightforward with us. They've given us every bit of piece of document that they've done, so we won't have to redo any of the things that Anchor Key has done. So that's a very good question. Thank you for bringing that up.
Any other questions for the Vice President of Development? All right, thank you very much, Gary. Moving right along to our Vice President of Marketing, Mr. Mike Thompson.
Greetings, everybody.
Good evening.
How's everybody doing tonight? So we'll just start off with 4th of July. So the 4th of July weekend was a historic weekend for us. We've had the most campers and the most party attendance that we've ever had on record. We had over 453 party tickets sold, and we had 483 individuals confirmed as of the time I wrote this report. But yesterday I was informed that we had up to 515.
Oh, wow.
It was an epic weekend and it was historic. Um, so to give you an idea of what that brought us in, for 4th of July, we made $31,170 gross on party ticket sales, $13,520 on camping and overnight lodging fees, for a total gross of $44,690. It didn't come without its problems, as Millie did cover in his section, so I'll skip over it. But there was a debrief afterwards, and we did get together and talk about it at the executive level to try to come up with ways to make it easier on everybody and our volunteers. We did sell, I'm sorry, we sold, oh, I'm in the wrong section. I'm sorry. We sold 7 Friday night passes, 17 Saturday night passes, 7 week of party passes, and 23 Black Forest party passes the weekend of, for a total of $2,040. I'm sorry, $3,625 of income sold on site. So, and then arrival patterns were basically, we had 160 people arrive on Thursday, 181 arrive on Friday. Then Sunday we had 314 departures, and then 59 departures on Monday. I'd like to extend thank yous to everybody that hosted: Trader Dick's, Cascadia, Southern Exposure, the quartermasters team, and the marketing team for planning and executing one of the most successful parties we've ever had on the grounds. Really proud of all you guys. In addition, there are a list of volunteers in other departments that really stepped up over the weekend: Eric Jung, Blair Stacks, Jeff Stiles, Jeff Young, Ten Stadzik, Stephen Lowe Ray, Matthew Schaefer, Greg Shell, Dana Miles, Nathan Tran, Gia Simmons, Michael Kelly, and Hobbs Barber. They were slinging drinks, checking people in till midnight. I mean, these guys really stepped up when everybody was going out and having fun. They buckled down and made sure that everybody was taken care of. And I really want to say thank you to all of you. If there's anybody I missed in that list, I apologize. There was a lot going on that weekend, and I tried to get a good comprehensive list. But anybody else that gave that weekend, thank you very much. Looking forward from here, we have Little's Weekend this weekend coming up, and then we have White Sands Party August 7th and 9th. August 14th through 16th, we go to Canine Campout. August 22nd through 24th, we had Friends and Family Weekend. And then finally closing the season, September 4th through 7th, we have Jurassic Park. So that is what has been going on in marketing this last month. Does anybody have any questions?
All right. Thank you very much, Mike.
You are welcome.
All right, let's move on to our Vice President of Member Relations. It's not Michael Ferris. It is. You're up, sir.
Well, Millie, you're always welcome to, jump in whenever I slip up. So keep your shoes on, okay? So, anyways, good evening, everyone. Three things to note when we're talking about member relations. We're talking about the Rules Committee. We're talking about the Care Committee. And we're talking about the Sergeant at Arms. So under rules, I've circulated with the board, and it's now, as Charlie mentioned, the new processes associated with incident reports coming in. And so we, as an interim measure, we're still proceeding with the new systems. But of course, we'll take the feedback from council when we get it. The current stats right now, we've had 8 incident reports come in, 6 have been resolved, and 2 are currently outstanding. They're sitting before the adjudication subcommittee. So just to refresh, there are 2 subcommittees under rules. One is the investigations branch. There's the folks to go out, get the witness statements, gather all the evidence, and put together a report of findings of fact. And then the matter is moved over to a different subcommittee, which is the adjudication group, and their job is to weigh the evidence that's been given, determine if that there's been a rules violation. If there has, the respondent is given an opportunity to respond on that and decide and address the question of whether a penalty is appropriate, and what that penalty might be. And then the matter is settled. They have the appellant process of going to the executive committee and the board of directors if they are unsatisfied with the process. As I mentioned, there are two new, it is new, and the being new means people having to be on a learning curve. That is taking a little bit longer. There are many more steps involved. The purpose behind the additional steps is to effectively insulate the adjudication group from knowing the persons or personalities and any knowledge that they may have of any of the parties is stripped out of the report. And that's to make it fairer for the person who's the respondent. The idea here is that any witness or themselves or the complainant, any histories or discussions about those people in camp through campfire talk and so on doesn't get clouded as part of the adjudication process. Basically, subject A did something to subject B, and without knowing who, you, as an adjudicator, you're focused only on what the conduct was and not who the personalities are. And that's what we want to do. That is, and for the folks in the investigations group, it's a learning curve. For many of them, they came out of a different process from previous years. It's a challenge. And for the adjudication group, who are all new appointees, they're having to learn what it means to weigh evidence, balance of probabilities, those kinds of determinations. And it gives the respondent a really fair shake, given the environment we're in. Many of us know each other, and so we want to make sure that they get the fairest process that's available to them. So one case has taken particularly longer than that is ideal, and I have reached out to the respondent in this case. I've provided him with an update of the new process, the different phases that it goes through, and I've explained to him where we're at and the best guess as to when the adjudication group is going to be finished with it. There is a minor wrinkle on a disclosure matter that didn't get addressed during that process. No harm, no foul. Adjudication hasn't made any decisions on that matter, so we'll get a proper disclosure over to him. For anybody who's concerned about those issues, I'm working with the two co-chairs. We are trying to do a little bit more clarification as we work our way through these cases. And we're happy to hope to have a much smoother and quicker process going forward. So that's it from the Rules Committee portion. The Care Committee is expanding some of its scope. If just to refresh, we're talking about acknowledgement of people who are suffering some hardships and difficulties. That's part of what we do on the Care Committee. We're also going to take the time to note some people who have had some personal significant accomplishments in their life. And so we're going to be adding that as well. And until I can't get into too much detail at this point because I don't want to reveal personal information on a public forum like this. But the gist of it here is that one of our members had a significant academic achievement in their academic pursuits, and it's pretty significant. So we thought, that's a good one to add to what we do. The last part of it is that we'll be, and for the record, any board member who wants, we'll be having a dashboard. That seems to be the current phrase around TRC. Thank you, Millie, for the availability of that term, of all the activities that occur both in the Rules Committee and also in the Care Committee. And so we can track what's going on and what we've done. Lastly is the Sergeant at Arms role, one I'm going to ask to have renamed in the future. But there's no new activity to report in that end of the world. I'm opening up for questions if anyone has any. I'll take that to no. I give the chair give the matter back to you, Charlie.
All good. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate it. All right, moving right along to our secretary, Miss Gail Schessler.
I really don't have much to report. We talked about trying to update the camper's guide. We would love to realistically get it done this season, but that might not happen. I will send out the sort of the updated versions so the executive committee can look at it and then send it out to the board to review if that's the proper process. And then we'll go from there. And let's see what else. I think that's it. Oh, I'm trying to update the minutes on the website. I'm going to send them to Josh. Josh knows how to update them, and he is willing to look at them and update them because it wasn't very intuitive. And I think that's about it right now.
All right, any questions for Gail? Thank you very much, Gail.
Mm-hmm.
All right, on to our treasurer, Mr. Josh Nye.
Pretty boring over here in Treasurer World. Finally got all the books updated, reconciled, all the fun stuff that you would ever want to do in your whole entire life. We are doing fairly well from our last party weekend. You guys aren't spending too much money, so that's good. We are making more than we're spending, so that's good. I did make a little error in my statement because I am exhausted working in 3 different time zones right now. So I did move I forgot about the tree removal. So that tree removal, I moved out up to 25,000. So we're definitely not over budget in that. And we have not spent any money in legal fees. So I made a mistake in typing that as well. So other than that, you can see by the email that we are doing pretty good. I do want to put a motion on the table. We there to help out with as we get more popular. I don't think we discussed this in the secretary report, but the membership is way up. Regular members are way up. Campion's way up, as we've been talking about. Right now, I think I looked at it last night, and let me just peek at it again really quick. But I think we're somewhere near, what did I say last night? Like 334 regular members or something like that.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of regular members who are buying a lot of things at the store and party tickets, and we have a lot of limited campers. I mean, I can't keep up with the account that we have in Wild Apricot. We're constantly archiving and making people go away that aren't actually actively buying things, so we can take money from people who are buying things. So that being said, I want to put a motion on the table to hire a bookkeeper, just so everyone knows. The person I have in mind is George, the old treasurer. He is going to be willing to do that for us. I just want to there's nothing in the budget for having a bookkeeper. So I would like to put a motion forward to have $1,000 a year and a new budgetable line item for bookkeeping services, whether that, the treasurer can decide who that wants to be at any time. But I want to put that motion forward. That's so that I'm going to put the motion on the table.
Second.
Moved by Josh, seconded by Millie. Open for discussion.
I just want to give my full support to this idea. I think it's an excellent one. The sheer volume of journal entries. That's basically every transaction that occurs through the TRC system. I think if you looked at year over year, it's just monumental. And, you know, we have nobody to blame other than the marketing folks who keep causing all these people to show up and give us all this money.
Right.
And we use a lot of different systems now also. So we have Rover Pass
Yes.
transactions coming in, we have Square transactions coming in, we have Infinity, like through the Wild Apricot system coming in. So they're all coming into different bank accounts, they're all coming in different places. You have to pull reports everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's like literally I'm spending 40 or 50 hours a week right now reconciling accounts, and I just can't keep up. So I don't want to get too far behind.
It's above and beyond what's expected of a volunteer. And I think also, and I think the good folks who follow what's called the GAP rules, AJ, you could speak to this better than I can. But the more remote, hands-off people involved with the handling of the financial transactions is always seen as a better thing. Yeah. Anyways, that's my bit.
Ditto.
Agree.
Call the question.
All right, all in favor, please raise your right hand. All right, it is unanimous, other than I'm assuming you're abstaining, Josh.
Yep, I don't feel appropriate to vote on that.
Perfect. All right, motion carries.
But yeah, just let everyone know, keep doing what you're doing. If you have receipts, please submit them on the ramp.
I think I owe you some, Josh. I will.
There's a lot of things missing on the ramp, and George, during his onboarding, is really going to come down hard on you. You think I am mean? George is going to be real mean and turn your card off. Like he's already told me, if the receipts aren't in, the card turns off and you don't get it back. So that is happening. Ramp also, based on the credit of the organization and everything else that's happening with our organization, Ramp has give us another credit limit increase on our credit card, so we won't really have to worry about anything. We now have a $45,000 open line of credit. I didn't go for the whole thing just because I don't think it's appropriate because I don't want anyone to spend that much money, because that will die. So, but that is a good news for us because that is the ramp. So we're being reported as a good organization under our EIN. So that's some positive news there as well. Yes, Millie. Okay, you muted anyway.
Millie. I don't have anything.
Okay, cool. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Just one, Josh. Is there any kind of kickback? I know it's not the best term, but cashback.
Yeah, right now we have about $1,800 in cashback from our spending from ramp that we can apply to an invoice. So right now we have $2,000 of free money available to us as well. And like our Prime memberships, are free now. They get cash back. We have a lot of different perks with the ramp card. So I'm kind of transitioning everything over to the ramp from our Chase debit card slowly. So we can get maximum cash back usage on all of our invoices.
Thank you.
All right, anything else for Josh? All right, thank you very much, Josh. I understand that Stuart Daniels has an update he'd like to give us.
Yeah, I'll keep this quick. Up to the board. I've been in contact with our paint supplier. They're going to provide us with a 1,000-gallon tank with an electric pump and a meter, which will increase our rental tank cost from $100 a year to $150 a year. The board would like to go through with that. That is, of course, something we can do. The other thing that I'm looking at doing is that we'll be meeting the propane company on site to assess locations at the tank and site 500 to install extra tanks that they will fill it directly. This will save us on propane costs for moving tanks around and refilling. These, I believe, will be 150-gallon tanks. which will be smaller tank, but the propane can fill on a whole fill. So that will save us money on propane for both of those things. There is also a possibility, Mike, if you would like, that we could look at a tank set up at the site, which would allow you to dig some channels and run some temporary outdoor gas pipelines to each of your pedestals and heaters, and allow you to run there so you don't run out of gas during part of this.
Is anybody able to understand Stuart?
No.
Yeah, it caught most of it. Yeah.
I think we're
you-
catching most of it, but it's hard to
Can you
understand.
You're
give
cutting
Sorry,
us
early,
Mike.
Stuart.
a quick summary in the chat?
I think
Basically,
Stuart
what he
said there's going to be a tank at 500, a tank at the wellhead, and we could put a tank at the party site with temporary piping to go to the heaters in the party site. I think that's
Yep.
if we're going from a 500-gallon tank to a 1,000-gallon tank
for the main tank. Yep.
for the main tank
With a pump.
Yep.
with a pump.
That's incredible.
Yep.
Good work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
Fantastic
job,
work.
Stuart. Thank you.
Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anything from any of our members at large that have not had the opportunity to speak? Now is your chance.
Nothing for me. Thank you.
All right, I'll take that as a no. All right, the only thing left on our agenda is new business, and that's setting up the August 2026 board meeting. August 18th is the third Tuesday of August. If that works for everybody, I would entertain a motion to set-
Move that we set the August 8th to the 18th at 7 p.m. via Zoom.
Do I have a second? Mike Thompson, all in favor? Okay, and that means for the executive board, we will be meeting the Monday before on August 17th at 7 p.m. via Zoom.
Charlie, I got a question. Have we given up the thought of changing our IT services to like Microsoft or some other form? I know
I
there was
think we
some. I
need
think there was.
somebody willing to do some research on different platforms and whatnot. Are you willing to take that on and do some research and report back to us
Yeah,
about?
yeah, I'm willing to do that because I think some of our systems have it in for me. No, drive us crazy. But I think we have some opportunity to look at that and hopefully maybe eventually save some money. But yeah, I'll take a look at that.
Perfect. Anything else from anybody?
I don't think this has been brought up, but just so the board's aware, Matt Rigg is developing a new website for us. I've looked at the live demos and everything. It's really, really, really good. Him and Rich are talking about DNS records and things now at this point. But the demo site is beautiful. So once it gets a little bit more defined, I'm sure he'll send out a sample for us to look at. But before we go switch over, but that's just props and snaps to Matt because that's a big undertaking to go from 1982 to 2006.
Yes, that's going to be great.
Nice. Okay, anybody else? Last call. All right, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I think I see
Second.
about a dozen seconds. All those in favor? I'll vote on this one too.
Aye.
All right, gang. Thank
Good
you
night,
all.
guys.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you
all.
all.
Thank you,
See you guys
everyone.
later. Have a good